BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The World Health Organization has said that only 14 African countries have vaccinated more than 10% of their populations against coronavirus. COVAX, the mechanism set up to distribute vaccine doses to poorer nations, has only been able to procure 5 million doses after richer nations bought up stock. From Nairobi, here's Rhoda Odiambo.
Out of the 14 states, just the Seychelles, Mauritius and Morocco have been able to surpass the global target by far. 40% of their populations are fully vaccinated. The WHO attributes this to their robust vaccination programs, country size and population. While the UK, US and European Union countries have been able to vaccinate an average of 60% of their populations, only 4% of Africans are fully jabbed.
YouTube says it is strengthening its ban on COVID-19 misinformation to include blocking videos and major accounts which make false claims about approved vaccines for other diseases. The site said misinformation about COVID vaccines had spilled over to other potentially life-saving vaccines, with claims that they are dangerous, ineffective or caused autism or cancer. The International Olympic Committee says tickets for the Winter Olympics in Beijing next year will only be sold to spectators from mainland China as part of efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19. Here's Alex Capstick.
The measures designed to keep the event safe and secure from coronavirus are much stricter for athletes who have not been vaccinated. They'll be forced to spend the first 3 weeks of their stay in quarantine, although consideration will be given to those who can provide evidence of a medical exemption. The US Olympic Committee has already made inoculation a condition for all their athletes who qualify for Beijing. Every participant at the Games will be confined to what's been described as a closed-loop management system, which covers competition and training venues, as well as accredited accommodation.
Police in Bangladesh say unidentified gunmen have shot dead a prominent Rohingya Muslim leader in a refugee camp. They said Muhib Ullah was talking to other community leaders when 4 assailants shot him. And Barasana Tirajan reports.
Muhibullah was one of the most high-profile activists for the Rohingya Muslim minority that has faced persecution in neighboring Myanmar for generations. It's not immediately clear who was behind the attack. No arrests have been made so far. Some of his associates blame the hardline Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army for the killing. The group was behind several attacks on Myanmar security posts in recent years. Nearly 1 million Rohingya Muslim refugees have been housed in camps in Cox's Bazar district after they fled violence from Myanmar.
BBC News. The authorities in Ecuador now say that more than 100 people died in a prison riot in the port city of Guayaquil, in the worst prison violence in the country's history. More than 50 others were injured in Tuesday's violence. Several victims were decapitated. Hundreds of police officers had to be deployed. Tunisia is set to have a woman prime minister, the first ever in North Africa. Najla Bouden is a professor of geology with no known political experience. President Kais Saied, who made the announcement, will continue to chair cabinet meetings. The bid by the American pop singer Britney Spears to end her father's guardianship has reached what could become a decisive stage. The Los Angeles Superior Court is due to decide whether to remove James Spears from the order and to put the conservatorship on a path to termination. Mr. Spears has indicated he would accept such a ruling. Sophie Long is outside the courthouse.
He came out and said via his lawyer to an application to the court saying that he was willing to cease to be the conservator, that he could be replaced. Since then, he's also applied to the court to have this conservatorship ended completely. Now, there's lots of speculation about his motivation for doing that. We've also heard from Britney Spears' lawyer. He has applied to court to have this conservatorship ended completely. So we wait to see what the judge will find. We're expecting to hear in the court from lawyers from both sides. We expect the hearing to last for a couple of hours at least, and then we might learn what the judge has decided.
Wildlife officials in the United States have said that 23 species should be removed from the endangered list and declared extinct. They include a plant, a bat, 2 fish, 8 freshwater mussels and 11 birds. Among them, the ivory-billed woodpecker. Many have not been sighted for decades. Half the lost species are from Hawaii and Guam. Islands have been hit especially hard. BBC News.